Hey guys, so I'm trying this again. So I apparently did like half my session and my mic was not working and I couldn't figure out why. And I now have figured out why. And it's so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. My mic was muted and I don't know how or why that happened, but now I'm just checking to make sure. Oh, yep, I'm back. That's great that you'll be able to hear me this time. Oh my goodness, how annoying is that? Frustrating. Technology. Frustrating. So, I'm sorry that I'm going live unscheduled now. But so I'm going to do this session now, and I hope that you can hear me. All right. So here we go. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about how to stop being busy to grow your business. All right. So it is, imagine it's the end of the week and you're feeling like exhausted because you were so busy all week, but you feel like you haven't actually accomplished anything. You haven't moved closer to your goal of growing your consulting or coaching business because but you were busy, right? You got a lot done. Your checklist is complete. Your to-dos are done. You did everything you said you were going to do. But you're sitting here feeling frustrated and anxious because nothing you actually did grew your business. So now you're looking at your to-do list for next week and you're thinking about all the things you're going to have to get done. And you hope, fingers crossed, that you will feel differently at the end of next week. And after this video, you will. Don't you worry about that. I feel like I'm really close. I feel like my mic is like in my mouth, basically. Let me give it some space. That's better. You will see exactly where you're going wrong and how to fix it so you can really start crushing it instead of working on bullshit. Okay? So in this video, like I said, we're going to talk about how to stop being busy to grow your business. Now, before we start, you might not really know all that much about me, so I thought I'll just share a little bit. I'll just tell you who I am and what the heck's going on here. So hi, I'm Amanda Ross, and before anything, I'm a dog mom, a daughter, and a sister to my very best friend in the whole world. I also happen to run a 6-figure creative strategy agency called Spark Lab, where I help female leaders explore marketing, product, and operation ideas, evaluate and select the best ones, and then strategically execute them. Because you can't just plan all the time. I love planning, but you gotta implement, okay? Over the years, for me, that's looked like web designs, app development plans, coaching programs, future business strategies, marketing plans, and more. Right now, I focus on helping you take your business from a low 6-figure business into a high 6-figure business by focusing on bringing in a funnel and growth strategy that is outside of just offering your premium services, but rather smart ways to bring in more clients with lower touch offers so you can make moves to expand your team. I've led an international marketing team with $1 million budget, trained and coached over 200 entrepreneurs to build strong brands online, and have designed hundreds of websites. I officially started my business in 2013 and have mostly loved every minute of it. I've hosted 3 podcasts, been on a guest of multiple other podcasts, and Facebook groups sharing my strategies on marketing, product planning, business strategies, and more. I love all things small business, and of course, you can find me on any given Sunday playing Frisbee with my baby girl, Buffy the Boston. This is a picture of her after we played Lake Frisbee, because I'm in Canada right near Lake Ontario, and we play Lake Frisbee a number of times in the summer. And this is what she looks like afterwards because she stinks. It's smelly being in the lake. So she's stinky. So I take her to the pet store and give her a bath. And this is the face of, why are you doing this to me? You're the worst. You're the worst mom ever. Look at my cute face. I can't believe you're doing this to me. she's so upset. But we're so fast and we can get out of there. She's so silly. So I, like you, think that having a business should be exciting and fun without feeling confused about what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it. So many successful consultants and coaches find themselves overwhelmed with their business and unable to grow because they've hit a ceiling, like clunk right into that ceiling. cannot take on any more clients. You literally can't grow, okay? Because there's no more time. No more time. You're full, all right? But you're full in a weird way because you're also too full to grow your business, which you need to do in order to hire people so that you aren't full. You're stuck in a cycle, right? And you sort of like love what you do, but you're also feeling crushed by always working in the business and not on the business. You want to lead and run the business and not be stuck in the weeds. It sucks. You know you need an option that brings in money so you can free up space to level up your business, but you are A, too overloaded to focus on it, and B, have way too many damn ideas about how to do it. You can't figure out which direction is the right one to go in. You think about it constantly, and you're so confused about which idea to go in that you're literally stuck. Months go by. Like you have been thinking about leveling up for months, and you are still at the same place, and you're frustrated and annoyed and anxious and cannot see a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So that is why I created the Clarity Cure. The Clarity Cure is a fully loaded 9-day program. For those of you who have already taken the Clarity Cure, that's right. It's 9 days now, not 5. I have changed some things. I have removed the bonuses. I just made the program a really solid 9 days. Okay, so it is a 9-day program where you get unstuck and you learn how to diversify your business in an easy and fun way. The Clarity Cure takes away all the confusion, your feelings of feeling completely lost, having so many ideas, not knowing which way to go, feeling stuck in your business because you can't grow it, wanting to change the way that you run your business because you literally cannot scale because you have no more time. The Clarity Cure is a game changer. That's what Tanya said anyway. That's what Tanya said. Tanya said on LinkedIn, I took this course because I was branching out in one of my businesses and it was a game changer for me. Highly recommend. Now, let me just say, this is a program that we go through. It is a live program. So for 9 days, I am live with you every single day at noon, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so it's not just an online course that you take and hope for the best. No, it is a course where I am with you and I am pushing you, and you literally have 2 weeks to go through the content because otherwise it's gone. 12 days, actually. 12 days. I want you to accomplish it. That's what the Clarity Cure is all about. It's not about just taking another online course and hoping you finish it. The Clarity Cure is actually doing it so that you can achieve something and get shit done. So instead of feeling like you're stuck with how your business is and not seeing a path to growth, you want a business that feels light and fun and busy yet free. You want space and purpose. You want a business where you know exactly what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it, and you can scale with ease. After these 9 days of the Clarity Cure, you will feel pumped, clear, light, excited to implement everything you've learned within the Clarity Cure. Trust me, it's the bomb. Okay, so again, there's the link. I only open the Clarity Cure a few times a year, so definitely check it out because I kind of think you're going to love it. Okay, so if you missed any of the sessions that I've previously done on Latte and Learn, because that's what I call these Thursday sessions, where I normally go live at 11 o'clock, but again, my audio wasn't working, and here I am. It is now 11:48 a.m., so I'm a little bit late, but I was talking for a really long time, like a half an hour, and nobody could hear me, and I didn't know that nobody could hear me. So here I am talking, and you can hear me because I checked this time, and I should have checked last time. That was totally my mistake, so I'm sorry about that. So if you've missed any of the other ones, then just go under, if you're on the Facebook group, of course, then you just go under the, I don't think they call it units anymore. They actually call it something else, like, I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a G. So go under the thing that starts with a G. Let me see if I can find it actually real quick for you. It's called like, I have no idea. Guides. I don't know why they call it that. It seems pretty lame, but that's what it's called. So under guides, you'll be able to find the replays of the previous Latte and Learn sessions, which happen every Thursday at 11 o'clock, except when I'm running the Clarity Cure, which is coming up the week of March 1st. All right, so let's talk about our main topic today, right? Which is how to stop being busy to grow your business. Okay. Why is that happening? Sorry, my notifications won't go away. All right, fixed. Busy work tricks you into thinking you're being productive, right? But this isn't true. And let's just look at the difference between being busy and being productive. So busy means that you are filling your time with tasks. Okay? You know the ones, these are on your list. You can just tick them off. Your dopamine is like your dopamine or dopamine, whatever. The stuff that makes you feel real good is loving it. You're checking things off, but you aren't actually moving towards your goal necessarily, okay? Well, we feel super awesome because we create these really long to-do lists, all the things we got to do. We mostly fill that up with busy work, all right? Whereas productive work means that we are striving towards our goal, okay? We're doing work that is moving us forward, right? It's helping us take steps to achieve the goals we want to achieve. And this is what we want to fill out our day with, or at least try to balance it out, okay? So you may never get away from all the busy work, but we really want to bring in more productive activities, right? So remember, the number of things that you check off in a day does not make a successful day, right? Being productive has nothing to do with the items on your list. Being productive may mean there's only one item on your list in the day, right? Where being busy means you've got 25 things you've got to do, right? So often, as I already mentioned, we get stuck in busy work instead of staying focused on our growth goals. We get caught in the weeds doing all the things and wasting time on non-essential business items, or like surprises come up. Like today, I got stuck in busy work just literally right now, trying to figure out what is wrong with my mic, right? It's like these surprise things where if I had checked right away, I might have had that answer. Now I'm redoing this. So I'm now wasting time. I don't find going live, I think it's productive. But I wasted time previously going live with no audio, right? So now that I was stuck trying to figure out what's wrong with my mic, what is going on, so that I can come back and redo this session. Okay, that's surprise busy work. You know, it can happen. But again, that was totally my bad, right? Totally on me, totally my fault. If I had checked, I would have been able to figure that out. So it can be a little bit annoying, okay? Tech goes wrong, things like that. We get stuck in stuff, right? And also we waste time in places where we shouldn't be. So we really need to start thinking about where we're spending our time and energy. So for everything we do, we should have a goal for doing that thing, right? If you're spending time on Instagram, you should have a goal as to why you're on Instagram. What are you trying to achieve? All right. It shouldn't just be like, I'm just going to grow my following. That's not a goal. Okay. What is actually the ROI that you are aiming to get out of spending your time and energy on Instagram? For example, I have decided that I'm going to spend time on Pinterest because I love Pinterest. But because I love Pinterest, I also have to be very cognizant of what I'm doing on Pinterest, right? So I had to decide, what are my 3 things that I really want to achieve with Pinterest? How will I do that? And how much time am I willing to spend on that? Because I can get stuck in Pinterest, right? You get in there and you're all over the place. Not the best, right? So if I suddenly see that all these unrelated pins to what my goals are, then I know that I've strayed from my goal. And that means, you know, maybe I'm seeing recipes, or maybe I'm seeing blueprints of houses, which is what just happened to me because I was looking at them. So now that's all that's in my feed, which is not at all what I want my Pinterest to be about. So I was like, oh shoot, I got to retarget, remember why am I here, right? We need to be very, very clear and focused about why are we spending time somewhere, okay? So being truly productive means that we are doing things that are the most valuable and they are the most critical to our business. And eliminating busy work in itself is productive, okay? That's a great thing to do, is get rid of that work. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that your busy work isn't necessarily helping you achieve your goals. I'm not saying that, but they may be somewhat helpful, but they are not the most crucial things you could be doing, right? Being busy. Hi, Dawn. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if you know, but I really screwed up earlier. I was supposed to be on 11, and then my mic wasn't working, but I talked for like a half an hour. but no one could hear me. So now I'm redoing the session and hoping that people can actually hear me now. So I did check, and I think the audio is working now. So that's good. And being busy can give us like a false feeling of like accomplishment, right? Especially if we are starting to get like a boatload of likes and comments and things on our Instagram posts. We're like, look how I've been so busy doing my Instagram posts and people are loving it, right? But where's the ROI? What are we actually achieving by being on Instagram, right? Because then you're spending all your time in these places and you're like, I've got to be on this and I've got to be on this and I've got to be doing this, only to be met with little or no results. And the cycle starts again and again, and you're left feeling overwhelmed and you're working hard, but you're not getting anything back because you're being so busy, right? Dawn is just saying that happened to me last week. I can hear you. Thank God. Honestly, you think you're doing it. And what's even worse, Dawn, just as a double whammy, I go live on YouTube at 10:15 every Thursday morning. And then I do the same session here on Facebook at 11 o'clock and on Instagram at the same time. It was just a gong show today. So on YouTube, no audio. So I did the whole thing and I didn't know. I actually didn't even have YouTube open. I used this program that I use. So I was watching the program. So I didn't even know that people couldn't hear me. I know now. But so I've now hidden that video. And then I went live and I didn't even look after. I didn't know until I was probably a half an hour through. And somebody, I think it was Carrie, said to me, I can't actually hear you. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So here I am, a little bit late, but you can hear me. So that's promising. All right. So busy work is attractive and it often masks itself as like fun, creative, necessary, right? Like it's super necessary that I'm on Instagram 3 to 5 times a day, right? Absolutely. Dawn, I've had people log in, but no one mentioned that they couldn't hear me. Oh no, jerks. That's what I think about them. It's awful. Oh my goodness. So again, busy work, we're checking things off our list, right? Check, done, done, done. It's captivating. It makes you feel like you're doing all this stuff, but we're not. Maybe we're not. We're not focusing on the right things that are actually going to grow the business, right? So sometimes it can be hard too to decide what is busy work and what is not busy work. So I'm going to touch on that in a minute. So what we need to do though is stop and evaluate the value of the things we're doing, right? And as the saying goes, quality over quantity, right? A big long list of 50 things isn't necessarily quality, okay? Quantity, sure, but that might not be quality, okay? So there we go. So here, I'm going to list a couple of things. Tell me in the comments too what you think busy work looks like for you. So here's a couple of I've written down a number of things, things that you might get stuck in busy work. All right. So creating visuals for social media. So being in Canva, it's so fun, right? Being in Canva, designing all the things. But here's the thing. If you don't get paid to be in Canva designing, then you shouldn't be in Canva designing. I do this all the time because I love it. And we also think to ourselves, well, nobody else could design my brand as good as I can. That's not true. Make some templates and hire somebody to do it. Okay. Posting to Instagram multiple times a day. Updating your website. Just got to change this header. Okay. No, you don't need to. Just if nobody's really coming to your website, there's no reason for you to worry about your header right now. Instead, write blog posts, get people to come to your website, and then there's a reason for you to focus on your header, right? Different. Writing and rewriting emails, like how many times do you do this? I do this all the time where I write an email to a client or I record because I use something called Vocal Bird. If you're interested, it's a Google Chrome extension where it is free and it allows me to record audios for my clients, which I really prefer rather than typing because I think they can understand my messaging when they can hear what I'm saying. And then I can joke around too, and it's not weird because sometimes you type out a joke in the email, it doesn't go well. So I like using the audio. So I keep it short, no longer than like 3 minutes max. And that's what happens. I'll record the whole thing and I've gone to 4.5. I'm like, shoot. So I have to like re-record and then maybe re-record again. This is not the best use of my time. I should just send the 4-minute one and that's what they get, right? Opening Facebook and checking notifications and closing Facebook and opening Facebook and checking notifications and closing Facebook, opening Facebook, checking notifications, closing Facebook. Not Not the best use of our time, not productive. Reading all the books, because you can't possibly know how to create and run a business without reading every single book about it. Getting into a Twitter debate about the best cat photo on a Saturday. Cleaning up your emails. Like, you know what? Just leave them in there. If it's a Google, you can probably leave it in there for a really long time. Getting organized. Oh, my desk is messy. Or, oh, right? Like, okay, I get it. You want to clean up a bit, but like, get organized and then get productive. Watching YouTube. Listen, YouTube knows what you like. And I get into YouTube and it's problematic for me because they know that I love movie trailers and I can watch movie trailers literally all day. It's absurd and ridiculous. My sister can vouch for this. There are times, not even kidding you, there have been times when I've been at her house, we'll watch a movie. Dawn, have you been spying on me? Are you the same? Movie trailers? So I have been at her house, we'll watch a movie, and then we'll be like, should we watch something else? I'm like, let's just watch these trailers. No joke. Like half an hour will go by where we've watched a whole bunch of trailers because I'm just happy to watch movie trailers. It's weird. So YouTube knows this about me. So I'm going to be very, very ready when I go into YouTube because otherwise I'm done. I'm done for the day. Invoicing your clients. You can hire people to invoice your clients or do it automatic. There's lots of ways, right, to get rid of busy work. Writing proposals, and it's always got to be customized. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be customized. There are ways to kind of create proposals that you just kind of pop in different chunks, right? Listening to podcast after podcast after podcast. I get it. I love podcasts too, but let's be cognizant and aware of how many and when and why we're listening to podcasts. So let me know if any of those relate to you. I'm sure that some of them do. What does productive work look like? Now, it's a little bit different. Some of these are where you might want to spend your time. I know, I don't know if I actually mentioned it because I've done this session so many times now because of what's happened today. So I don't know if I mentioned it in this session or another one, but I will mention it now. Is that productive work doesn't necessarily mean that every single thing you're doing is actually getting you a client in that moment. No, some of them are a bit long game, right? We have long game things that we have to do. One of those might be writing a book, okay? So that could be a long game. You're like, okay, I want to have a book by the end of summer. That's one of my goals, which we'll talk about in a minute. So writing a book might be long game. Okay, but writing a book is actually very productive because that's going to do something for your business, for your brand. It's going to give you the ability to be on podcasts as a guest, speaking engagements perhaps. Writing a book is very productive. Or writing content for your blog so that you can keep generating people coming to your website or being able to do Pinterest posts or things like that to your blog, right? This is productive. And again, we want to think about what is our business, what are our goals, what are we trying to sell that may be different for you. Reaching out to clients directly, your referral network. Do not underestimate the people that already know you. Reach out to them, tell them you're looking for clients. Asking for the sale, creating Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, Pinterest ads, whatever ads. This is productive work. Now, you actually writing the ad and creating it, perhaps not, but the strategy behind it, yes, okay? Coming up with ideas on how to improve your business or services. Planning your goals and strategies and how you're going to get there. This is productive. As long as we're not planning forever, we have to implement, we have to execute, okay? But it's productive. Just looking at Dawn. I cleaned out my email and cleaned my desk. Oh, that's okay. Sometimes you have to do it one time, but don't do it again for like a really long time. It is still messy and there are still emails that shouldn't be there. Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying we're going to get rid of all the busy work. We just have to start thinking about where we're spending our time and just be more mindful of it. So maybe reworking your buying process to make sure it's the super easiest way for people to work with you, whether it's to sign up for an appointment, whether it's to buy something that you're selling, whatever it might be. Recording your podcast, being a guest on podcasts, productive. Connecting with new people, building relationships, productive. Going live to teach something, to build your audience and things like that. And my sister's just popping up telling me there's no sound in your live. And I'm just going to tell her that I'm live right now. So, and you can hear me now. All right. Let me give you an example of busy versus productive. You've decided that you want to be on podcasts. So you're like, I want to be on 24 podcasts this year. That's the goal. Okay, so busy work would be learning about how to be a guest on podcasts, reading all the books on how to be a guest on podcasts, listening to podcasts on how to book podcast guesting spots. Okay, busy work. Productive work would be hunting out the 24 podcasts you want to be on, contacting them, and pitching why you're the best damn guest they're ever going to have. Okay, see the difference? A little bit different. So we need to do the work that will achieve the goal in the smartest way, right? Pam said she found our new live. Yes, Pam, I talked for probably, I don't know, half an hour in the other live. Did not know I had no sound. And also did that on YouTube at 10:15. So I have had a productive day. No. So then I thought I'll just restart and just go live randomly. So whoever knows that I'm here knows that I'm here. And whoever doesn't, you can watch the replay. Okay. So the most valuable time, there we go. The most valuable thing you have is your time. We all know this. I'm not the first person to tell you this. And you really do need to protect it like a mama bear protects her cubs, or like a dog mom protects her baby girl. Like, you want to mess with Buffy? I will take you out. Okay? So we really do have to be thoughtful about what we're doing with our time, okay, to achieve the goals. Now, I'm also not saying don't ever be on Instagram, don't ever do some of these things, because depending on your goals, that might make sense. So you just have to be very thoughtful about what your actual goals are and making sure that the things and time and energy you're spending is actually going to achieve those goals. All right, so let me share with you some 3 steps that you can go through to start doing productive work instead of doing busy work. All right. So the first thing is you need to figure out what your MVGs are. These are your most valuable goals, right? We need to get very clear about what our goals are, because sometimes we're a bit willy-nilly about it, right? We're like, oh, well, I want to make, $20,000 a month. Okay. That's great. But if we're not really strong about, like, not just I'm going to, this is going to happen for me. We have to get very clear on what those goals really are. So you need to truly decide what you want to achieve. So for me, I'm going to give you 3 things that I want to achieve. One is that I want a revenue this year of $500,000, which means I need to close $42,000 a month. Give or take, maybe some days it's 60, some days it's 60. That would be great. Some months it's 60, another month it might be 30, whatever. But like, the goal is to achieve that in the year. Another goal is to write a book by the end of summer, okay, which probably is going to be the Clarity Cure. I'm going to put that into a book. 3 is to hire 2 new people by the end of the year. Okay, so getting very clear and saying, like, these are the things. These 3 things have to happen for me. So once I understand truly what those 3 things might be, or maybe you have 5, I wouldn't go too crazy. 3 is probably good. Or maybe you have a longer term one. You're like, well, I have a 5-year goal and a 3-year goal. And then for this year, I have 3 goals. That's fine too. But like, don't overwhelm yourself with too many goals, because you're never going to get anything done that way. So once we understand what those things truly are, then we can really say, how am I really going to get there? How is that really going to happen? Okay. So that's step 2. Step 2 is coming up with the best ways to actually achieve these goals and eliminate busy work as much as we can. Okay. So once you know what your 3 MVGs are, you need to break it down to actually get this done. Okay. This isn't magic. You don't just think about goals and go, well, hopefully that happens. You actually have to put time, energy, and work into making those things happen. Okay. So what I would say is, for whatever goal, so I have 3 goals. I would say for each one of those, I'm going to come up with 3 ways that I think are the best ways for me to actually achieve those goals. And then I know what that's going to focus everything I do to make sure that I'm focused on those things. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense, but let me know. So we want to break it down. We want to have 3 to 4 sort of tasks or things that we're like, these 3 things, if I do these 3 things to achieve that $500,000 goal, I will achieve it. So now those things become my like must do's, right? These become my must do things. Everything else is outsourceable. Everything else is busy work. Everything else can sit to the side. right? So remember that tweeting may lead to some results. Setting up meetings to discuss potential projects will be much better for you, right? Can we all agree? So tweeting is easy. The other stuff might be hard. And sometimes hard is really what we need to do, okay? The third step of this is identifying what your busy stuff is, because there may be stuff in your busy tasks that is still useful to you. Okay, so we want to make sure we know what we're doing. So I would say over the next week, maybe 2 weeks, no longer than that, write down, what are you doing? What are you spending your time on? Where are you spending your time? What are you spending your time? You're going to be surprised and probably annoyed at yourself. But go through, where are you spending your time? What are your busy tasks? So that you can look at those things and see which ones of those are actually going to help you achieve the goals at the highest level and which ones you can get rid of because they're only slightly helping you, right? Or maybe they're not even helping you really at all. You're like, this is a total waste of my time. I've been doing this for a year and getting nothing out of it. And I'm not saying, because a lot of people, it's like, well, I was on YouTube for 3 years and then suddenly I blew up. Okay, that's great. But if we're really trying to grow our business and make money, spending our time on YouTube every day maybe isn't the best way. Maybe start growing your audience in a different way. Actually picking up the phone or actually sending direct emails, actually asking for the business, right? There are different ways where we can be spending our time. And I'm not saying never do that. Like I said, it's okay. You want to do Instagram. If you want to do videos every day, every week on YouTube, and you're like, I'm going to do them and I don't care, I'm going to keep doing it, which is where I am right now. I'm doing it. That's fine. But what you shouldn't be doing is spending all your time editing your video and, making sure that your thumbnail is perfect, right? That stuff, outsourceable. That's outsourceable. You want to record the video, fine. Get somebody else to do all the other stuff. Does that make sense? So outsource all the busy tasks you possibly can, or just let them go if you're like, I don't need to do this. This doesn't make any sense. All right. We want to really spend our time on goal-focused tasks. Okay. So here's a bit of a little bonus for you, something that I found an interesting sort of strategy that I was like, oh, I kind of really like this. I was watching an interview with Rachel Hollis. And basically she said that instead of writing weekly to-do lists, busy work, she writes results lists, okay? So productive work. So instead of saying like, okay, I got to send 10 emails this week, she'll say, I got to get 10 clients this week. See, that's slightly different, similar, but not the same. Because sending 10 emails means I just go and send 10 emails and I'm done, right? Yeah, you might get a client out of it, maybe. But that's not, but you don't have that goal, right? So when you actually say, get 10 clients, you might send 10 emails. You might send 100 emails. You might get on LinkedIn and connect with people you've never connected with. You might send emails via LinkedIn. You might call up your referral network or send them a text or a message and say, hey, I'm looking for new clients, right? It totally shifts the perspective. Can you see how it will shift the perspective for you when your to-do list isn't just doing the things, when your to-do list, though, is accomplishing the goal? Does that make sense? Tell me in the comments if that makes sense. So for me, like that, totally, I was like, oh my, yes, girl. Because I like a to-do list. I like to check things off. It makes me feel good. But what's the ROI, right? Am I actually moving forward, or am I just being on Instagram for the sake of being on Instagram because everybody's on friggin' Instagram and I should be there, right? I'm sorry that I use Instagram so much for anybody that loves Instagram. I can't help it. I don't hate Instagram. I do also like it. It gives me good hits of dopamine, which isn't necessarily productive though. Anyway, because when you think about this, when the 10 emails, like I said, there's no results. So you can send 10 emails and get 0 out of it, but you're like, but I sent my 10 emails. So I did what I was supposed to do, right? Where if you're saying I got to get 10 clients, totally different. It's a completely different mindset, right? So I really liked that. I thought that was really good. Anyways, guys, that is it for this session. The Clarity Cure starts March 1st. I already told you all about it. I'm just going to tell you what Joanna said. Joanna, where miss her stuff. I'm sure you've missed my singing. She said, I just completed Amanda's 5-day clarity cure. However, it is now 9 days. I changed it up a little bit, and it's a little bit different, and the pricing is different. And I highly recommend it for anyone who is looking to take their business to the next level. My partner and I are developing a new social startup, and this was the course we needed to gain greater clarity on our core offer, how to develop messaging that will really resonate with our audience, and tips and ideas on building a funnel. Now, just as an aside, because you guys are in this Facebook group, and I'm only doing this to the Facebook group, you guys are already going to get access to Clarity Cure because I'm holding it inside this group every time. So once you're in the Clarity Cure, you can take it every time, but it is only for those 9 days. And then I give you 3 days, I think, to watch replays. So for after 12 days, content's gone and it won't come back again until I do the Clarity Cure. So for those of you who are in it, no worries, you're already going to get access to it March 1st. But definitely tell people about it. Definitely invite people, invite your friends, because I think too, if you have somebody else going through it with you, then you're going to really make sure you're coming and doing all the things, and you're going to love the Clarity Cure, I promise you. So let me just read Pam's. I have 3 big goals for the year broken into 4 milestones for the quarters. That's really good. And I'm working on monthly and weekly goals that cascade from them. It's so helpful. This is bang on. Yes. And now Pam, for those of you who don't know, is my sister. And we literally just had this. That's why I'm doing this session, because over the weekend, this is what we talked about. We talked about this because she was feeling confused and like, what am I doing and all that stuff. And so we actually talked about this. So this is what sparked me actually doing this session, was that conversation. So that is it for this week's Latte and Learn. Next week, I'm going to talk about imposter syndrome and how you can beat the crap out of that. So that will be here, 11 a.m. Eastern time with sound. So that'll be better. Otherwise, guys, have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.